hey everybody, I am Kibi. I'm out of North Carolina. We have three other fantastic ladies from different areas. So I'm going to kind of introduce everybody really quickly. And we're going to be sharing today our Stories Sell training and coaching class. So let's just dive right into who we are. Again, I'm Kibi. I'm out of North Carolina. I have run 5 businesses online. Super excited about teaming up with Kat, Noelle, and Nicole in our stories class. I have 2 kids. I am married, and I just stay super busy, just moving and shaking. And I am just so grateful to be alive in this day and age because of social media. I love social media. I love how we can communicate and connect all over the world with people, turn cold leads into warm, and I could just go on and on and on. So I'm just super grateful to be here with everybody. I want to go right to Kat. This is Crazy Kat, and I'm gonna introduce her. Go ahead, you share what kind of who you are, what you do, where you live, what you into.
Hi, hashtag Crazy Kat. I live in South Carolina on the family farm. My granddad was born here in 1931. I moved home about 15 months ago to be with them because they turn 88 this year. So they're a big part of my life, as well as skydiving. I have almost 2,300 jumps. I did accounting for 22 years and now just love social media, trying to learn as much as I can, as quick as I can to try to help other people because there are challenges with the apps. And I've spent hours and hours and hours, and I want to defrag that for everybody else because it's fun to share and care.
Awesome. Let's go to Nicole.
Hey, Kiwi, thanks so much. And ladies who are going to be working on this coaching program and training program, you couldn't learn from a better group of women, I'm telling you. And it's a privilege to even be considered as a part of this. And my name is Nicole Connor, and I am an integrative health and nutrition coach, and I live in the Sierra Nevada mountains in California. I am married. I have 2 teenagers, and I have a growing local business, a traditional restaurant business, as well as a network marketing business. So I have 3 businesses that I build right from my computer and my phone. So to be able to put all of these tools together in one place and learn it and be able to share it with the people that I know and love and help them do the exact same thing, it's awesome. So I'm excited about this class. Back to you, Kiwi.
Awesome. Now let's go to Noelle.
Hey, I'm Noelle Upchurch, and I live in Nashville, Tennessee, but I'm originally from California. So when I first moved to Nashville, that was a huge shift. So what I love about social media is I can rekindle friendships, stay in touch, see what people are doing, become a part of new communities of friends, and I really see how people really join in a strong bond. Even though we may just be online, it keeps us in touch so that when we do see each other, it feels like we've known each other all along. And so, I used to travel around the world with my husband, but I have a teenager now. And so he needs to be home. He needs to be going to school, and he needs a stable home life. So I really like to use social media in business for that purpose. So there's the friendship, there's the community, there's the support, and then there's the business side. And so that's why it's been really important to me, and it's really just, changed my life from back a couple years ago, moving here and brand new to Nashville.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, this class is 12 weeks. Yes, I said 12 weeks. So if you're looking at this class and thinking, wow, that's a long time, it's because of the content. And I consider it kind of a circle. And like Noelle's talking about, and all the ladies will chime in on and talk about it, it's about the community, the support. You're learning technology, and technology's tough. It's tough for someone, too, that's not technology inclined. Maybe they don't have that skill, right? So we're going to walk you through step by step, and I'm getting ready to go over our outline, step by step of everything you're going to get out of this class. Now, we are online. You can take this class from anywhere in the U.S., in Canada, in other countries, literally. If you can hop online to a Zoom or Facebook or Instagram, you can do this class with us. So let's go to Kat. We're going to talk about week 1. What are we going to learn in this class, week 1, when we're talking about stories? Stories sell. Tell us about it, Kat.
Sure. So I went to the Eric Worre conference back in the end of last year, and everybody who was these $1 million earners kept talking about stories, and they were doing their stories. So I came back and I was like, I'm going to figure this out. And I started trying to play around with it, but it was way more complicated than what I anticipated. And I would come out and figure something out, and then I was like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. And it's just been this iterative process over months, playing around with you, Coach, on how do we make this work out. And so being able to give that to people, how do you start? You can either pick Facebook or Insta. What's the first step? What's the next step? So that way you feel really comfortable. And as you're learning the apps, you have a dedicated group. You can ask questions in our group. You're learning in a team environment, so you don't feel like you've just been thrown out on the bicycle with no training wheels. You could actually learn in a safe environment and kind of figure it out as you go. And then we'll layer on more and more complexity throughout the course. Back to you, Coach.
So good, so good. And I remember that conversation. You got out of the conference at Eric Worre, and you're like, I got to learn stories. I'm like, do it. So Kat and I have spent months learning it, testing it, and measuring it. You guys know my training I never implement until I do myself. So I am a user in the field just like you. I'm testing and measuring it based on multiple businesses: network marketing, direct sales, coaching, training, and mission. Mission being Bible study, missionary work. So I'm looking at it at all angles to see how can this be helpful in all businesses, and I test and measure. And so does Kat. So we've been working on this for a while, and we're excited. Week 2, we're going to teach you how to beef up your stories a little bit, get a little more creative, learn some apps that are free, some tips and tricks. So Noelle, what can we expect for week 2?
Well, when I started doing this, I wanted to make it quick and easy. So I'm going to teach my tips on how to keep it quick and easy and get you started right off the bat to make something that looks really nice so that when it goes out, your message is clear. And I'm going to bring in my my makeup background, talk a little bit about color, talk about placement, and teach a little easy app that anyone can do if I can do it.
Yes, and let me just share that if you're sitting back thinking, I'm not very creative, that's why you need a class. Creativity can be taught. Art can be taught. It is a skill. And we can all be more creative and learn from other people. So I love that. Noelle is super creative. She pulls stuff out that I'm like, wow. But look, with a coach like Noelle, she can teach us that art. She can teach us that skill. So now let's go to Nicole, who has a really like good technical skill, and she's going to be teaching how to just take the data, save it, and share. Because what we want to do is application. You want to be able to take this information back to your teams. If you play a team, maybe you have a coaching team, maybe you have a network marketing team, maybe you have a Salesforce team. They need to learn this. So how do we create that duplication and take what we learned back? So go ahead, Nicole, share what you're going to do in week 3.
Well, thank you. I'm really excited to share this piece of it, because when you are trying to get information out to people, and you have to, and maybe in the past you've done it all separately via email, or you're all trying to pull it from a private Facebook group, or you're trying to figure out how to get all this information so that everyone has access to the raw material.
Yes.
Right? So I'm going to be showing people, a really simple way to share this data so that every single person has access to it and can also use that information. And as we move through the next 12 weeks of that, you're going to learn all of these little tips and tools, what size pictures work best, what size data works best, how to make it look pretty. And as you learn how to share it, taking that data from that shared file is duplicatable for your team. So everyone has access to it if they want to use it. And then they can create something really exciting as you go through the weeks that, what comes next is how to take all that awesome information and make it something that's like production quality awesomeness. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. And I'm excited because I can tell you, just from having been in groups trying to get information, fortunately, you've all taught me how to do that really, really well. And Kiwi, you're so good at making sure that we have an easy place to get to this information. And these skills are what we've learned over the last year, collaborating with each other. Why not teach it to other teams?
That's right. I love it. And you know what? There is no other training on earth like this. No, because I've checked. Okay, week 4 is selfies. Now, some of you may be like, I ain't taking no selfie. By the time that we're done with you, you're going to be taking so many selfies. You're going to be loving it because, look, this class builds confidence. We want to help you build confidence. And how do you do that? How do you even start with selfies when you're like super scared, super shy, super anxious? We're going to help you with that. And not only the confidence behind it, but then the how to and when to and the positioning and all that good stuff. So we're going to make sure you are equipped to do that, and also using filters and apps, and using filters where you don't look like plastic. Like it really looks like you, right? So we're going to teach you that. Yeah, that's my week, and I'm excited. Okay, week 5. So you've learned all this. You're putting out content. Now what? We got to track and measure. Y'all know I'm about results and tracking and measure. So Noelle, you and I will be training week 5. So go ahead and share why that's important, and what will people learn from the track and measure week?
Well, stories gives you a way to see who's seen what you're putting out. And tracking and measuring is important because we don't want to be spinning our wheels on things that, you know, tend to have less interest, aren't really speaking to the people that we want to speak to. And so the tracking and measuring is what allows us to know that, you know, the people that are in our communities or that we want to reach are out there seeing it. And it allows us to tweak and test really as we go along. It's always just that little tweak, right?
Right. It's every class. We go through classes, we learn all this, and then we're like, now what do we do with it, right? So we're going to equip you to track and measure, learn that skill of everything you're doing, what's working, what's not working, so you can go get a result. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. Week 6 is Kat's week, and she is like, a lot of you ask, like, how do you do that bouncy thing? How are you singing and dancing? How are you like putting this all together? What the heck? Like, I want to learn to do that. You got to sign up for the class. So this is week 6. It's more of an advanced week. You're moving along. You're really trucking along, and now, boom, Kat's going to come in and share. So what will they benefit or learn from week 6?
First off, you'll have a lot of fun because you're about halfway through. So everybody needs a kid break, and I'm a big kid in heart. And I love the app that I use for this because it actually makes me look like I'm not mental. So I look like I'm mental when I'm doing the video, like really slow. And the video, the app just takes it and makes it look like I'm whiz banging all over the place. And it's really, really fun. It's fun to be a kid. You get a lot of questions. You make people smile. And who doesn't want to do that, right? So it's really cool. I love it.
From a results perspective, like those types of stories really get traction. And at least people would ask you, what are you doing? And how do you do that? And it's going to generate conversation. If you're in sales, it's about generating conversation. It's about building relationship, right? We teach people before profits. How do you do that? Well, it's by building relationships. And through these stories, that's what we're doing. All right, week 7, we're going to really grow up a little bit with Nicole. You know, we're getting the training wheels, and they're getting ready to be taken off as we move through the class, because she's going to really bring it with interviewing. And some of you may ask, like, why we even need that skill. By the way, every week we're going to be doing videos with you and teaching you confidence through videos to reveal the stories we're doing each week. With that, you're able to interview, learn the art of interviewing, and be interviewed. This is huge. There's no class out there doing this. Nothing. No. All right, Nicole, share the interviewing skills. And why would anybody need this? Why would they benefit from week 7 with you?
Well, I'll ask you a question. Have you ever been in an online meeting and had someone completely lose control of a meeting?
A lot.
Right? So the person who hosts that meeting and is in charge of that meeting really needs to learn a few simple skills and prepare their audience on how to respond while you're recording, number 1. And 2, what kinds of questions are you going to be asking? How is it related to the content that you're delivering? and then be able to sum it up from a beginning, a middle, here's the meat, and how are we summing that up? Nobody really teaches you that. And so for those of you who are watching this and they're thinking, no, there's no way I could ever do something like that, I'm going to teach you some really simple stuff. And because you're going to be watching us do that, now this is 6 weeks you've watched us do this every single week. And so each person, each coach here knows how to properly interview. So I'm going to be teaching you some tips and tools. You're going to get to watch them for 6 weeks on how we've been running those meetings. And then I'm going to give you, write down, here's what I need to do and practice if you want to. But that's a really useful skill for those who are running meetings, especially if you're a coach and you run an online program like I do. If you have a business meeting you're trying to run and you're attempting to get each person involved so that there's some feedback and collaborative work going on, you got to have some skills and be able to do that so it's done in a timely manner. I mean, how many times have you been in a meeting online that just keeps on going because somebody won't shut up, right? I mean, so I'm going to leave it there, and it'll be a fun class. Everybody will have a great time.
Right. It's incredible. And, podcasts are the thing right now, right? I was just talking to another coach, Daryl, who's like, what do you think about podcasts? I said, hey, they're great, but you got to learn the interviewing skill. Who are you interviewing? How are you interviewing? How are you opening and closing? And he's like, oh, well, what do I need to do? Well, you probably need to sign up for our class. But think about that. Podcasts are a great way to get yourself out there. But if you're not equipped to interview or be interviewed, that's a sinking ship. So you can take these skills and stories and apply them in other areas, like podcasts or business meetings or whatever you're going to do. You can take these skills and apply them. They're life skills. These are life skills. By the way, this isn't directed to any companies. This is an all company. We don't talk companies. We talk community. This is a community. Love that. Thank you for plugging that in, Nicole. Week 8, we're going to learn how to create templates because like Noelle said earlier, it's about time. Look, we're parents. We're running around here. We've got jobs. We've got businesses. We ain't got time to redo stuff. So this is Kat's week, and she's going to share she's going to share this week 8 on templates for your stories and some thumbnails and things like that. Go ahead, Kat.
Hi. So I really love being creative, but I was spending hours and hours and hours and to put out one thing, and then I would have to redo it every single time. So found a free app, which free is great, that works really well, and you can save your templates and you can go out and reuse them. So now I have certain templates for certain things I want to do, for example, quotes. And it takes me less than a minute to go in. I pick my quote, I copy it into my template, I pick my new picture, which is also free because the app goes directly into pictures. They're easy to search, pulls it right in, you save it down, and up you go. Easy to do it for Insta stories, Facebook stories, YouTube, headers of blogs, anything, Twitter, everything. It's really amazing. It works super slick and it's free. I can't believe it's free. It makes me so happy. Like all the time. I'm just kidding. With all the free time I have now.
Yeah, and if you're watching, you're like, oh my gosh, what did she just say? We're going to teach you. Like, we're just sharing this stuff with you guys because we know what we know. We're good at what we're good at. And that's why having 4 coaches, you've got 4 backgrounds, 4 experiences. We all bring something to the table, and we're going to put it together and train you. So I'm excited. All right, week 9, Kat and I are going to be training on the law of promotion. That's everything. Just let me tell you that. That's everything. Week 10, we're going to go in more depth of advanced tracking and measuring. Noelle and I will be taking that on. And we're going to also share with you how to make your top 20 and 30 list. I know you've heard that before, and you're probably like, what the heck does that mean? We're going to teach you. We're going to show you. You're going to know what to do. Then week 11, we're going to wrap it up with how, like Nicole was saying, to have movies that are like production top quality movies that are really flashy, dancy, smiley out here for you and your audience. Week 12, we're going to wrap it up with how to take all this content and build your YouTube channel. because let me tell you, that's the #1 place people go to search you out. So if you're selling anything, people are looking to see who you are, because people buy people, not products or services. By the way, people buy people. So how do you want people to get to know you? Your YouTube channel. So we need to be building that, and we're going to be talking about your YouTube channel and how to get all this content up on your YouTube. It's going to be incredible. So let's close out with this. I'm going to go around. Kat, you first. Who would benefit from this class?
Everybody. It could be regular coaches, like you've got skydiving coaches, other types of physical coaches, training classes. If you're building a team, like you're doing makeup and you have a makeup team, imagine being able to share and create a story, sharing that with your team. It will be completely incredible. One of the coolest things about the class is it's collaborative, and you're going to get teamwork. You're going to be working together, right? And it teaches you the how. It's not like, here you go, watch 14 videos and figure it out yourself. We're going to teach you how to do it, walk along beside you. What?
Exactly it.
No, it's the truth. The class, and they lead you over here, and you're over here.
Here you go, watch a video. Good luck.
Right.
It's like throwing you on a bike with no training wheels or anything and sending you down a hill. You know what I mean?
Boom, crash.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. Wear a helmet. You'll be fine.
Yeah, somebody needs to do a GIF in the comments on the live of that, of a bike. When, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, just find somebody in the hills of San Francisco and then something like that.
Nicole, who would benefit?
You know, I happen to be in a big circle of people who are just now learning how to be coaches themselves. And because of that, the school that I attend is wonderful, but there is not that hands-on, this is how you do it. Here's how, and walk you through it. And then to have this collaboration of people that go, oh, and I learned an even better way to do it. And then this is how I did it. And this is right. So you get all this great feedback, #1. To anyone who is, in ministry and they're looking to build their audience because they're local community people and they want to, grab the attention of something that's going on at your place of worship. Instagram stories, Facebook stories, either on your page, on your personal pages, etc. If you're trying to build an audience for any reason, if you have a business, you need to know how to do this. And no one is teaching you except for the cost of like thousands of dollars. And then still no one is sitting down there and showing you how to do it. And then when the apps and the programs and the whatever's change, no one's telling you, oh, yeah, so they changed the thing. So now this is how you do it. No one's teaching you that either. So what I love about, this is that anyone who's really trying to build any kind of audience for any reason, they need to have this class. I needed this class. In fact, I was watching the three of you for a couple of months. And then a few weeks ago, I was like, yeah, so how do I get involved in that? Right? So starting over the last few weeks, I've learned a lot of new tools, a lot of new tips, been practicing other things for a long period of time, interviewing, things like that. But every person I know who has a business, and most everyone I know has some kind of home-based business, and they're doing it wrong online.
Yep.
So this is for those people.
Yeah, I always say if you're not getting 5 to 10 leads a week online, you need a class.
Mm-hmm.
My inbox stays full of people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just the result of doing what you should be doing online. So, and there's some weeks that I don't get as many hits, but it's pretty consistent that I do get people reach out to me. Lead attraction marketing is so much greater than door knocking cold market or bugging your friends and family for your products.
Right.
So I'm not going to do that. If I have to do that, I'll go broke in the industry. I'm just not going to do it. I did that at first in network marketing. I tricked all my family and they hated me for 5 months. I'm not doing that. What I want to do is say, here's what I got. If you want it, come. It's so much funner. So if you're in a sales business and like you're just beating your head against the wall and you've called everybody on your list and your uplines have said, oh, well, you're just a leader. No, you're not. You're just not doing it right. And they don't know what they're talking about because they're not building online. Lots of uplines, they have their teams in place and they make money from the people under them. So it's a super highly ungrateful attitude to have that I can just go off on. But let me just share with you, you are worth it, and you can build anything you put your mind to. You have to develop skill. You just need to develop skill. That's it. We just need to polish ourselves, build some confidence in a team of people that support you, and you can go master whatever you want to do. That's the golden ticket here. And by the way, social media has allowed us to do this, and nobody even knows what we can do with it. We're in a revolutionary time that people are literally going to get rich if they figure it out. If we figure it out, our families will be rich. So this is a golden opportunity because nobody really knows. We're just all trying to figure it out. All right, Noelle, who would benefit?
Well, anyone, Kat and Nicole have covered that, but I would say anyone, to bring it back to, who likes to do things that are time savers, that are inexpensive, where there are systems built in that you will be trained on the meat and potatoes of. Again, it's not like an esoteric idea of this is probably what you should do. These are steps. The training builds upon itself. You're in a community of supportive folks, like, Kat has mentioned, but that can't be, overemphasized, because there are a lot of trainings that A, don't give you meat and potatoes. B, you're never, really allowed in. It's just being told to you. And so this is a lot more support. And I don't want to reveal too much, but what we also want to teach when it comes to using these is uplifting people. That's really the secret. That's the secret sauce right there. Is it okay that I said that?
Of course. Yes.
Yeah. So that's the community that you'll be a part of, and that's the community we want you to take out and, pass on, because we're really all about that.
Yeah, agreed. And one thing that I can share too is that, some people ask, well, what is this and how is this different than branding? Or how is this different than social media? How is this different than the nest? It's all different. And by the way, it's all math. It's like math. It's building. So it's adding, subtracting, dividing, multiplying. This is more of an advanced class. We're going to take you step one and help, but we may need to screen of you guys who come through. If you can't even upload a picture, you might need like the introduction class in social media. That's a quick 5-video class that'll get you going before this one. If you've had other social media classes, I would recommend you need this one too, because you just can't learn all of social media in one class. It's not going to happen. You can't retain it even if there was a class that existed out there. It would be like a year-long program. It'd have to be. So I would say for anybody who has taken this class or taken that class, this is totally different. It's a totally different new concept and class built around stories that nobody's teaching out there. In fact, Kat, in closing, you just signed up for a stories class just so you could get some insight on some other trainings and see if there was anything you could learn. I recommend go check out and scoop out other folks. What we're doing, did you learn in that class?
Not the how to collaborative. So it's watch a video, and I learn from videos, but I've literally watched hours and hours, tens of, if not hundreds of hours of videos to try to figure something out. And you Google it, and there's some people that I'm starting to follow, but I've never learned everything I need to know from one person. It's multiple different people doing different pieces of it. And I pick up one little bit here and one little bit there, and then I test a measure and I try it. I'm always trying to find the quick, efficient way to do it so that I can share that with other people, because I don't want them having to go through the pain that I've been going through. Right? Like, remember last week, Instagram did an update and all of a sudden something broke in 2 hours. I was like trying to figure this out. Well, I would just share that with everybody. Right? And it was important to me because it's part of the way I post, and I'd just come up with a marketing plan, and then all of a sudden something broke. So these things happen when they update, and then you're on there Googling and you're trying to find it. When you figure it out, then you just share it with the community instead of everybody having to watch hours and hours and hours of videos. You just talk it out, you know?
Right, right. And share also that when, Facebook and Instagram had its little hiccup the other week, how that puts things in perspective with what Nicole's training on with saving data. Go ahead and share, Kat.
Yeah.
You have to be sharing your data because, I mean, they went down for like a day. Well, who knows what's going to happen? They could start charging us tomorrow. I mean, Gary V, who is, if you don't follow him, I highly recommend him. He
Yes.
wrote a book, Crushing It. He's intelligent. He knows his stuff. He's built an entire empire from starting by educating people on wine. His dad owned a wine store. They were immigrants from Russia. He started talking about wine online because he knew it, and he has built an empire, and he shares everything. His tagline is be kind, go to work, right? Put out good content. But he talks about all the time being multi-platform. He's on all of them. And so you kind of have to add it on as you go. But if I was on YouTube as actively as I should have been, this wouldn't have been a problem, right? But Insta was my primary. And so it took me down, and I was completely like, you know what I mean? But at least my content was somewhere else. If they shut it down and never came back, I'd just go build it somewhere else, But you have to have backups. You got to be.
There you go.
Yeah, everybody was stressing. They were texting me, oh my gosh, we're down. I'm like, I'm not down, girl. I'm tweeting, I'm YouTubing, I'm LinkedIn, and I'm still doing it. Be on platforms.
So,
Okay, so as we close out, everybody, and you kind of already have, but let's just share again really quickly, why this class? Let's start with you, Noelle. Why this class?
Why this class? It's something new. It's something excited. You're going to be in a community of supportive folks that are going to handhold you through the process and not let you down.
Nicole, why this class?
Why not? I mean, if you have any kind of business whatsoever and you want to sell more product, get more clients, be more present for your audience, you need this class.
yep.
Kat, why this class?
Because you're going to save yourself time, and you can continue doing what you're good at, right? We're all wanting to go out and help people with whatever product or service we're providing and not have to spend half of our day trying to figure out an app. Why do that? Just come join a team that already knows how to do it. They can collaboratively get you up the curve, and not everybody's going to be an IT expert, and you don't have to be.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right. In closing, I would say this class is for anybody that earns money off of the transference of a sale. If you earn money because someone else bought what you have, you need this class. That's number one. Secondly, I would say why you need this class for community, collaboration, and commitment. Us four, we will help you, and you will get a result. So with that, I'm going to stop the recording. Get with us. We're on Facebook. You can inbox us. Send us a message. We'll send you the details. We are excited. We cannot wait to work with you guys. Drop a comment. Let us know you're watching. You have any questions, let us know, and be sure and reach out. I will stop the recording and stop the